Have you ever felt like giving up? Like no matter how hard you try, the obstacles just keep piling up, and quitting feels easier than continuing? You're not alone. Every successful person has felt that way. But here's the difference. Some quit, and some push through. And the ones who push through are the ones who win. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly how to stay motivated when you feel like quitting, because your future self is begging you not to stop now. We all face moments when the weight of challenges makes us question whether to keep going or simply give up. Whether it's in studies, business, fitness, or personal goals, the urge to quit is something every successful person has battled. But here's the truth. Success doesn't belong to those who never struggle. It belongs to those who refuse to stop. Today, I want to share with you 7 powerful ways to stay motivated when you feel like quitting. Remember why you started. When life gets hard and the pressure to quit feels overwhelming, the first thing you need to do is pause and remember why you started in the first place. Every journey begins with a spark, something inside you that said, I want this. I need this. I must do this. Maybe you started because you wanted to prove to yourself that you were capable of more. Maybe it was for your family, to give them a better future. Maybe it was to break free from a cycle of struggle, to escape mediocrity, or to reach a dream that's been living in your heart since childhood. Whatever your reason, that why is your anchor. Here's the truth. The path to success is never straight. There will be roadblocks, failures, rejections, and days when nothing seems to work. In those moments, your brain will scream, quit. It's not worth it. But when you go back and reconnect with your original purpose, you remind yourself, this is bigger than my current pain. This is bigger than my doubt. Think about this. If you quit now, what happens? You don't just lose the progress you've made. You lose the chance to fulfill that very dream that once made your heart race with excitement. Quitting means letting down the person you were when you first began, the version of you that had courage, vision, and hope. A powerful technique is to write down your why. Put it on your wall, your phone wallpaper, your journal, somewhere you'll see it every day. Because when you're tired, your why will fuel you. When you're discouraged, your why will push you. And when you're close to giving up, your why will remind you that quitting is not an option. Always remember, people who succeed are not the ones who never feel like quitting. They're the ones who never lose sight of why they started. Break big goals into small steps. One of the biggest reasons people quit is not because they're weak. It's because they're overwhelmed. When you look at your dream as one giant mountain, it feels impossible to climb. The sheer size of it can crush your spirit before you even take the first step. That's why the secret to staying motivated is learning how to break big goals into smaller, manageable steps. Think about it. No one builds a skyscraper in a single day. It starts with a foundation, then one floor, then another, piece by piece until the vision is complete. Your goals work the same way. If you're only staring at the finished picture, you'll feel frustrated by how far you still have to go. But if you focus on today, on what you can do right now, suddenly the journey feels lighter, possible, achievable. Here's the key. Small wins create momentum. Every time you check off a tiny task, you prove to yourself that you're making progress. That progress builds confidence, and confidence builds energy. Step by step, you move closer to your ultimate goal without even realizing how much ground you've covered. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't think about 300 pages. Think about writing 1 page today. If your dream is to lose 50 pounds, don't obsess over the full number. Focus on losing 2 pounds this week. If you want to build a business, don't get paralyzed by the idea of being a millionaire. Start by getting your first customer. This approach rewires your brain. Instead of feeling defeated by how much is left, you feel encouraged by what you've already accomplished. Each step is proof that you're capable. Each small milestone is a reminder that you're moving forward, no matter how slowly. Remember this, big goals don't fail because they're impossible. They fail because people try to do them all at once. The ones who succeed are the ones who have the patience to take one small step at a time, every single day, until the mountain is finally behind them. So, the next time you feel like quitting, zoom out. Don't focus on the entire journey. Just focus on the next step. Because success isn't built in one leap. It's built in a series of small, consistent steps that, over time, turn into something extraordinary. Embrace the struggle as growth. One of the hardest truths to accept is this. Struggle is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. Most people want success to be easy, smooth, and pain-free. But the reality is that growth only happens when you are tested, stretched, and challenged beyond your comfort zone. Think about how muscles grow in the gym. They don't grow when you lift what's light and comfortable. They grow when you push against resistance, when you feel the burn, when you tear and rebuild stronger. Life works exactly the same way. The moments you feel exhausted, frustrated, or ready to quit are the very moments you are building the strength you'll need for the next level. Instead of fearing the struggle, learn to embrace it. Reframe the way you see challenges. Every obstacle is a teacher. Every setback is training you for something greater. Every failure is not the end, but a lesson shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. The truth is, quitting doesn't take away the pain. It only takes away the progress. If you quit when it gets hard, you stay stuck at the same level forever. But if you lean into the discomfort and say, "This is part of the process. This is how I grow," you will transform that pain into power. Ask yourself, what if the struggle you're facing right now is exactly what you need to unlock your breakthrough? What if the challenge is not blocking you, but preparing you? The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is simple. The successful ones don't run from struggle. They embrace it because they know growth lives there. So the next time you feel like quitting, remind yourself, this isn't punishment, this is progress. The pain you're feeling today is shaping the person who will enjoy the reward tomorrow. Struggle is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally on the road to success. Surround yourself with the right people. Motivation doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's heavily influenced by the people around you. Whether you realize it or not, the voices you listen to, the energy you absorb, and the attitudes you see daily all shape the way you think and act. That's why one of the most powerful ways to stay motivated when you feel like quitting is to surround yourself with the right people. Think about this. If you spend most of your time with negative, doubting, and pessimistic people, their mindset will rub off on you. They'll feed your fears, magnify your doubts, and make quitting sound like the logical choice. You'll start believing things like, maybe this is too hard. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just give up. And before you know it, their negativity becomes your reality. But when you surround yourself with positive, driven, and inspiring people, something powerful happens. You start to rise to their level. Their encouragement fuels you. Their energy lifts you. Their success reminds you that your own goals are possible too. Motivation is contagious, and when you're around people who believe in growth, discipline, and perseverance, you'll naturally begin to adopt those same habits. This is why successful athletes train in teams, why entrepreneurs form masterminds, and why winners rarely walk the journey alone. They understand that who you walk with determines how far you'll go. If you walk with quitters, you'll quit. But if you walk with fighters, you'll fight until the end. So, ask yourself, who am I allowing to influence me? Are the people around you pulling you forward or holding you back? Are they building you up or tearing you down? Sometimes, staying motivated requires making hard choices. Distancing yourself from toxic voices and intentionally seeking out communities that push you to grow. This could mean joining a group of like-minded dreamers, finding a mentor, or simply spending more time listening to uplifting content rather than negative conversations. Every interaction you allow into your life is either feeding your motivation or draining it. Remember this, you don't rise to your goals, you rise to the standards of the people you surround yourself with. Choose wisely, because the right circle can be the difference between giving up and going all the way. Visualize the end result. When the weight of your journey feels unbearable and quitting seems easier than continuing, one of the strongest tools you can use is the power of visualization. Our minds are incredibly powerful. What you consistently imagine, you begin to believe. What you believe, you begin to pursue. And what you pursue with consistency eventually becomes reality. Here's the problem. When challenges hit, most people focus only on the struggle in front of them. They see the pain, the obstacles, the failures, and that's all their mind can process. But when you only focus on your present hardship, quitting feels like the only escape. Visualization flips that script. Instead of staring at the struggle, you shift your attention to the reward waiting on the other side. Close your eyes and picture it. Crossing the finish line, receiving the diploma, hitting that fitness goal, launching that successful business, or finally living the life you dreamed of. Imagine the pride, the joy, and the freedom that comes with victory. Feel it in your body as if it's already real. This technique works because the brain doesn't fully distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's actually experienced. That's why athletes visualize winning before they compete, why entrepreneurs visualize success before they build, and why achievers see themselves at the top before they ever get there. They're training their mind to believe it's possible. And when the mind believes, the body follows. The next time you feel like quitting, take a moment to step back. Instead of obsessing over how hard today is, project yourself into tomorrow. See the smile on your face when you've made it through. Picture the people who will be proud of you. Imagine the doors that will open because you refuse to give up. But here's the key. Don't just visualize success occasionally. Make it a habit. Write down your goals. Create vision boards. Replay the picture of success in your head every single day until it becomes your reality. The more you see it, the more you'll believe it. The more you believe it, the less likely you'll ever quit. Remember this. Your vision of the future should be stronger than your pain in the present. If you can see it clearly, you can endure almost anything to get there. Celebrate progress, not perfection. One of the silent killers of motivation is perfectionism. Too many people quit not because they aren't making progress, but because they feel their progress isn't good enough. They compare themselves to others, criticize every little mistake, and convince themselves that unless they're perfect, they're failing. But here's the truth. Perfection is impossible. Progress is everything. When you shift your focus from chasing perfection to celebrating progress, everything changes. Progress is movement, growth, and evidence that you're not standing still. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, progress means you are moving closer to your goal. And that movement deserves to be celebrated. Think about a baby learning to walk. When a child takes one shaky step and falls, no parent says, "That wasn't perfect. Try again when you can run." They cheer, they clap, they celebrate because that one step is proof that growth is happening. The same is true for you. Every little win, no matter how small, is worth celebrating because it's part of your transformation. The problem is most of us overlook our wins. We beat ourselves up for not being there, yet for not having achieved the full dream. But staying motivated requires recognizing how far you've already come. Take a moment to look back. Think about where you started, the challenges you've already overcome, and the steps you've taken that once felt impossible. That's progress, and it's powerful. Celebrating progress also builds momentum. When you acknowledge your small victories, you train your brain to associate effort with reward. That positive reinforcement fuels your desire to keep going. It creates a cycle. Effort leads to progress, progress leads to celebration, and celebration inspires more effort. So, reward yourself along the journey. Finished a chapter? Celebrate it. Went a week without skipping your workout? Celebrate it. Took one step forward in your business? Celebrate it. These small recognitions don't just feel good. They keep your fire alive when perfection would have made you quit. Always remember, success is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. The people who reach their goals are not the ones who did it flawlessly, but the ones who refuse to stop moving, step by step, day by day. So celebrate your progress. Applaud your effort. Value the journey, because perfection doesn't exist, but progress creates miracles. Commit to discipline over emotion. Motivation is powerful, but it's not always reliable. Some days you'll wake up feeling unstoppable, ready to conquer the world. Other days you'll wake up tired, drained, and completely unmotivated. And if you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never build the consistency needed to reach your goals. That's why the final and most important step to staying on track is to commit to discipline over emotion. Discipline is what carries you through when motivation disappears. It's the habit of showing up day after day, no matter how you feel. Think of discipline as a promise you make to yourself. I will keep moving forward, even on the days I don't want to. The truth is, your emotions will lie to you. They'll tell you, you're too tired. You're not ready. You can do it tomorrow. But discipline doesn't negotiate. It gets the job done. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I made a commitment, and I will honor it. Look at athletes, soldiers, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Do you think they always feel like training, working, or pushing forward? Absolutely not. But what separates them from everyone else is that they don't wait for the right mood. They show up anyway. And it's in those moments, when you do the work even without motivation, that real strength is built. Here's the secret. Discipline creates motivation. The more you act, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, the more motivated you feel. It's not about waiting for inspiration. It's about creating it through action. So instead of asking yourself, do I feel like doing this? Start asking, what did I commit to doing today? Stick to routines. Build habits. Create systems that make quitting harder than continuing. When discipline becomes your default, success is no longer about luck or feelings. It becomes inevitable. Always remember this. Motivation might get you started, but discipline will finish the race. Don't let emotions control your destiny. Let your discipline guide you, and one day you'll look back proud, knowing you didn't quit, because you trained yourself to keep going no matter what. So remember this, the urge to quit will come. It comes for all of us. But quitting ends the story, while perseverance writes a new chapter. You don't need to be the fastest, the smartest, or the strongest. You just need to refuse to give up. Hold on to your why. Take one step at a time. Embrace the struggle. Surround yourself with the right people. Visualize your victory. Celebrate your progress. And above all, let discipline carry you when motivation fades. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to those who never felt like quitting. It belongs to those who kept going despite it. And that person, that fighter, that winner can be you. So the next time you feel like quitting, remind yourself, I've come too far to only come this far. Keep moving forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.